Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and beautiful day. Super excited to be on here with you guys. We got a lot of value coming in. We've got a fresh start to the month as well. It is December 1st. November to remember is absolutely phenomenal month, and there is so much growth, so much more abundance to come into this next 31 days. So I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go ahead and pour into everybody. Today is actually a very special day. We've got events literally going over all over the United States and also a couple ones internationally. So honestly, there's so much going on right now, and I cannot wait to see all that is to come and all that is flowing to and through each of us. So before we go ahead and dive into today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to become unstoppable, right? One of the biggest secrets to go ahead and become unstoppable. Let's go ahead and drop a little bit of gratitude down below. What is everybody grateful for coming in for today? Grateful to be alive, grateful for the mind, grateful for the body, grateful for the spirit. So grateful for all that is happening for us in life. Grateful for the time taken, even in the morning, to go ahead and be still, be quiet, to go ahead and really keep the days going on the challenge. We are hot. Day 125, I believe. Go ahead and drop it down below. What day is everybody on your challenge? So let's go. Day 125. The journey continues. Proud of you, family. And just like today, what we were talking about, taking the time to write your goals 3 times throughout the day, because where focus goes, energy flows. And I loved how we took it a step further even this morning, to where a lot of us, we have the B type goals, we have the C type goals, but what are the daily actions, right? What are the daily intentions that we're looking to go ahead and knock out today? Because here's what I've been able to learn myself: to lay each brick as best as we can lay it, and then look back even a week, 2 weeks, a month later, it adds up. 1111, paint your vision. Let's go. We are aligned. We are feeling abundant. I love it. I love it. So let's go ahead and get into today's topic for today. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the secrets to go ahead and become unstoppable. So let's get into it. Grab your pen and paper and let's go ahead and dive into today. Okay. So when we're talking about becoming unstoppable, right? One of the first things that we're going to have to go into is going to be expansion. Right now, expansion, this is a really interesting topic because you're going to see expansion is something that can happen in a matter of seconds, right? And I'll go ahead and prove it to you. So let's go ahead and think about this, right? Expansion, not becoming aware of what we don't know to go ahead and allow ourselves to become bigger. Because here's the truth. The unknown, there's so many things that we don't know already. And here's the deal. We don't have to know everything to be able to go ahead and take the first step to go ahead and start putting ourselves out there so we can begin the growth, right? We don't have to know everything. It's about taking the next step. We're going to learn, we're going to grow as we go. I didn't know exactly how to make my videos at the beginning. I didn't know how to pick a topic. I'd have bullet points. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know how to do events. I didn't know how to do so many different things as far as trading. But I understood. I could say, what if all day long and create all of these excuses, or we could just go out and do it, and we're going to get better as we go ahead and put in a little bit more time, as we beat at our craft. Okay, so this is big. So I want you to start taking the time to think about and imagine your successful self, right? What does your successful self start to look like? What do they act like? What do they talk like? How do they show up on a daily basis? Because here's what's really interesting. Pay attention. You ready? This part of yourself can expand faster than growth on the outside physically. What happens internally happens way faster than what happens externally. The external has a jet lag effect. When you make the decision to say, you know what, I'm ready to go ahead and lock in at the gym for the next 30 days. I'm ready to go ahead and cut off the junk food. I'm ready to go ahead and start getting up early. I'm ready to go ahead and really start journaling. I'm ready to go ahead and start throwing events 3 days out of the week. Well, guess what happened? You've literally started to expand in seconds from within. Now it just takes a little bit of time for it to catch up externally, but this is where the magic happens, if you can really catch this, right? Because quantum leaps, you're literally having quantum leaps, but it's happening internally first. So watch this. You ready? The emotional side that wants to have, be, and do more, right? That takes time to acquire, but the expansion that happens internally happens in seconds. So when we agree we are ready for the change, guess what happens? You're literally firing and wiring neurons inside of your brain to create that synaptic connections to now you're able to start thinking and vibrating on a higher frequency because now this is where your focus is. Okay. So the visual that Sean gave us this morning was awesome. So I don't know how many of you guys have ever been fishing. Okay. But I'll go ahead and paint this visual for those of you that so you can get an idea. Okay. A fishing net, right? When you throw out a fishing net, it's kind of like this big net, and on the corners of it, it has these rocks or it has weights so it can actually go ahead and grab the fish and contain all of them. Okay. So the visual that Sean gave this morning is if you think about a casting net, okay, and you have the weights that are on the outside of your casting net, and you take your casting net and you throw it out. Well, you see, the reason why our dream is not grabbing onto anything when we throw it out and we look back in our net and it's just like, man, where's all the fish? Where's all the abundance left? Because there's no weights onto the dream. There's nothing truly holding the anchor of the dream in place. How many people wake up January 1st, say, all right, I'm ready to go to the gym. I'm ready for the new change. But then 3 weeks go down the line and then they stop doing the actions. What happens? There's not enough weight on the casting net to allow them to keep taking the action, to allow them to keep having the daily disciplines. So how do we start getting weight onto our casting net so we can actually start grasping onto the abundance that we're looking to enjoy, right? The withdrawals, the impact, the new relationships, right? The confidence that we go walk out into the world with. The weight starts with a couple of different things, okay? The weight starts with getting clear on exactly what it is that we want. That's the first step. Just like we went over it today, what are the short-term goals? We just started a brand new month from December 1st to December 31st. What are some goals that would truly fire you up to go ahead and accomplish them by the end of this month? And you can go ahead and drop them down below. What are some goals that would really get you excited? This is why they say the secret is the feeling. If you can't already picture that already, forget about it. We've already lost a month because we don't know exactly what it is that we're going towards. So this is big, okay? The second piece is when we're expanding, right? The second that we make the decision, right, decide to go ahead and cut off what we don't need and go ahead and bring in what is that gives us value. Here's what happens the second that we start to make that decision. We're spinning up the quantum field. And you guys know I love this analogy because it's so true and it's so powerful. The thinking causes the quantum field to start spinning. But you see, the emotion that we put behind it forms the energy that ends up going around whatever is spinning, right? So how many of us were thinking negative and then the feeling goes negative, and now we create a bunch of negativity in our life in all these different areas? We've all been there. We've all experienced it. But guess what? It also works on the other side as well. Being able to take the right thoughts, if we can get clear on our goals, if we can get clear on what it is that we're going after for this month, for the next 31 days, watch what happens to the feelings. Because now you can already start to get the feeling of what it feels like to start withdrawing from your account, to go ahead and pay off a couple of your bills, what it feels like to go ahead and hit a couple of ranks for the month, what it feels like to have that video where people are reaching out to say, you know what, I needed that for today. I would love to go ahead and run it up and grow and work together. So this is where it happens. It happens spiritually first before it ever happens physically. Remember that. That's why they say, some people, they tell me all the time, well, D, that's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I don't believe that. Well, that's a perfect example for you. Success happens 90% spiritually before it ever happens physically. Being able to see the body that you want, see the withdrawal, see the impact, see the growth before it even happens. This is where the quantum leap truly begins. Ready? So I had a couple things that I wanted to go ahead and go over today to go ahead and give you some visuals for expansion. Here's the next one. Here's your next visual. What is the size of your dream and desire? Is it the size of the universe, or does it fit in a red cup? This is the visual that Sean gave us this morning, and it gives you something to really think about. How big is the vision? Is it the size of a red cup, or is it truly something that's so abundant that no matter what rocks, no matter what stones anybody throws at us, we still have so much abundance around us? Or is somebody able to go ahead and take our vision, take our dream, take our cup full, and just go, they take it. Here's what people do. You ready? People take our vision, they grab it, boom, and they just dump it out. They just dump out our dreams. They dump out our vision. They dump out our goals. And guess what? We have nothing left because we didn't really get clear on what we want. We didn't really start getting the feeling what it really feels like to be on stage walking in front of 10,000 people, to really see what it feels like to have our mom give us that call saying, you know what? Thank you for you putting in the time. Thank you for you being the one to go ahead and shift our family, not just for us, but for the generations to keep coming. Over the past 5 years, I can't tell you how many times I've had multiple different adversities come in one way, shape, form, or another. And if I didn't have the anchors, if I didn't have the weights, I'm going to tell you, family, I would have quit a long time ago. I've seen a lot of people come and go in this industry. And what I've realized about the ones that have been able to stay is their weights are they're very heavy. They're very rooted. And their vision, right? What is they see for themselves and for others around them? It's the size of the universe. It's not inside of this little cup. Because the biggest thing that I learned back at 21, 22 is to dream much bigger, much sooner. It's a game changer. Changed the whole game for me. So here's how I want to leave it off with everybody today. You ready? To go ahead and draw that line in the sand, okay? Here's what has to happen. It takes being able to be present. It takes being able to let go of the past. It takes being able to forget about the future for a second and really be able to be present in the moment. Because now you're in control. We're not worried about what's going on the outside. Now we're able to really get still and picture what it is that we want to achieve, get the feeling, and now we're able to go out and take the action. We have an event going today. This event started with nothing in the mind, and now it's coming into the physical side. So over the years, how many times have I thrown events where nobody showed up? Time and time again. But I've also had events where hundreds of people have showed up, but what was the difference? Being able to stay consistent, being able to see the vision when most people couldn't see it. So when most people step on the other side, when they draw the line in the sand, when most people step on the other side, here's what happens. And this is exactly what Sean was talking about this morning that really puts it all together, okay? They start to realize that you can't use your past or future as excuses for what we don't know. It's either forward in faith or it's back in fear. There's only two ways to go. This is why when you truly understand how the mind works, you can understand how to use it to our advantage. The mind does two things. It's looking to go and help us survive, or it's looking to go ahead and find the patterns. So you wonder why so many people, they start something for 3 weeks, January 1st, and then they go back. The brain's looking for the pattern. It's looking for the first pattern that can go ahead and recognize and find. And guess what that pattern most of the time happens to be? The old self, the old thoughts, the old paradigms, the old rituals that we're so used to having. So when we're able to go ahead and embody the new, and just like we've all been able to start with the journaling, with the meditation, with the gratitude, guess what? you're literally creating new neural patterns inside of your brain. Every time that we learn something, we create a new connection. And every time that we go ahead and do it again, we strengthen that connection. Why do you think it's called remind? To be of mind is to have these connections in our brain. To remind is simply to go ahead and rewire these connections. So when you remind yourself about our goals, about our vision, about where it is that we're going, about our daily actions, this is where you truly start to get focused, and you have what's called tunnel vision. You start to get in what I like to call the flow state. Nothing can bother you. Nothing can get you off of your seat because you're rooted. So here's how I want to go and end it off with you today. And it's honestly probably my favorite piece of the whole day. And it's so sweet. It's so simple. If you get anything from this whole training today, take this piece right here. You ready? The thing with fear is it works one or two ways. Okay. Let me ask you this question. Would you rather have the known fear, or would you rather have the unknown fear? Let me ask you this question, because this is the QOQ. This is the quantum leap. This is where I'm going to really put it all together. Would you rather have the known fear, or would you rather have the unknown fear? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make that make sense. You ready? The known fear is what it is that we already have experienced, what we've already been through. Getting told no, the rejections, our family not believing us, going out and having people go ahead and get in our inbox and say, "Wow, I don't know why you're wasting your time with that." That's the known fear. That's things that we might have already experienced in one way, shape, form, or another. But what's the unknown fear? The unknown fear is you going out to make that video today. The unknown fear is you going out your chicken list. The unknown fear is going out and starting that trading account. The unknown fear is putting a little bit of money behind your ads today. Something that's different, something that you haven't done before. This is where the real growth is. Every day that you wake up and you run at the unknown, I'm going to tell you right now, this is where the magic begins. Because every day that we run to our known fears, there's no growth. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. So I had to start really thinking about what are all these things that really make me nervous that I'm ready to go ahead and start leaning into, that I'm ready to go ahead and start running at. Speaking, getting on social media, making videos, throwing events, right? Starting a live trading account, putting a little bit of money behind my e-commerce store. Every single one of these things, I was nervous at doing. Every one of them. I was fearful of doing all these unknown things. So I had a choice to go ahead and keep going back to the fear of the unknown, to the fear of the known, and say, you know what? I don't think I'm good at speaking. I'm not going to do it. I don't like social media, so I'm not going to take the time to build a brand. I could have easily made up all those excuses, and all of us can do the same thing. But also at the same time, how many of you, Shane is a perfect example, right? They could have easily said, you know what? I don't want to create a brand. I don't want to waste the money. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen. Guess what? They ran at the unknown. You know what's funny? You know what manifested? They've got a brand that's known globally now. They have educators inside of our platform that are literally wearing their brands night and day. Corinne was on the DCX call, once again, rocking the crypto hat in front of hundreds and thousands of people. So it just goes to show how much is on the other side of fear when we really run at it, because I'm going to tell you right now, we'll never know if we can jump if we never fly. You'll never know. So there's a lot of us that are spending half of the day building somebody else's dream, building somebody else's last name. But I want to ask you, what happens when you spend half of that time building your last name, building your dreams? Who do you become when you really start developing your dream, building it in 4K and 8K, and start stepping into that every day? Who do you become when you let go of your limiting beliefs from the past? Who do you become when you start stepping into the highest version of yourself? And guess what? Those that see you on social media, those that meet you in person, your energy greets you before you even speak. They can see your confidence. You're exuding such a powerful aura. And this is something that, guess what? Here's the secret. It's been inside all along. It's been just as close as our skin all along. It just takes tapping and aligning with that right vibratory frequency to go ahead and truly make it manifest. So family, that's my training for you guys today. I hope you got a little bit of value, took a little piece away. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button, drop some twos down below. If nobody told you today, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. I'm so excited to see the growth that is coming in September. We got a couple trips planned out, ready to go. It is your favorite entrepreneur attending. You find you have anything that you can hold in your mind, you can hold it right here in your hand. I love you, family. It's game day. I will see y'all tomorrow, another episode of Rise and Shine. Let's go, family.